Apocalypse Gaming.
Hey there folks, hope everyone's well. So in this Terrain Get It Built video, we're going to be looking, as promised, at another one of our Sentry City Laser Cut MDF builds. This one, it's the dumpsters, as promised. Again, these look rather cool, still in the cellophane, so this is how they come to you from Magnetsised. There's two of them in it. They look to be very detailed again for something as simple as a dumpster. Now, looking at it, something I am thinking though, the way this construction looks, again, I should really have looked at the instructions online. I do have them loaded up, I haven't looked at them, but the way this construction, I've just lost some light. The way this construction looks, I think I could either pin to create a hinge or magnetise to create a hinge these doors, and if I can, I'm going to do that because I think that would look absolutely cool, that the lids of the dumpster can be opened up as well. So we'll look into that as we build this, but looking at the way that either Viv or I think Scott's, his partner, have constructed these, I think we can pin or magnetise those. So that is what I'm going to be trying to do, if it's doable. So let's do a quick sprue tour. Probably easier if I turn it that way, because we'll fit it just about all in. So again, let's just, if this is your first piece of laser cut that you've looked at, you can see, oh, it's really showing in the camera there, that little bit there, that's a bit that they don't cut with a laser cutter, and there'll be a second point just there, again not cut with a laser cutter. Can I get that turned? There we go. So you should be able to see that on camera, my hope is. There we go, point there, point on the other side, and every bit of the laser cut has this. This is obviously to stop it falling out of the actual sprue when they cut them. So all you do is you go in and you just cut through that gently with a sharp blade. I really should be doing this on my cutting mat and not here. The wife will kill me because this is the thing for protecting the table when we're gaming or painting or whatever. I'm not sure you've done that properly. There we go. That one actually had 4 after me saying 2. There you go. You live and you learn. Everything else so far in the previous builds has been 2, but that's got the 4 points. Again, you can see them 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm not going to bore you by cutting out the rest of this, but we'll take the quick jump along the sprue so you can see some of the components. Probably easier to see on that side, isn't it? Much easier. Not sure what they bits are yet. I think that's the top bits. Now then, that could be interesting if somebody's already thought ahead, is it? I don't know. We'll find out as we go along. But, cool. Let's get on with it. I don't know what this is yet. The last 2 have had that as well. I don't know. So, anyway, let's get it cut out the sprue. Enough of this. Ayo. Right, that's me got the first 5 bits. So let's get cracking. And let's get building. So, deet. So if you're unsure where to put your glue, dry fit first, but it's generally the recessed section and then the edge of whatever lug. This is actually going to be a bit footery because these don't want to stay together until I put them into the final or 5th part of the build, but we will get there, hopefully without too much cussing, because it's not like me to swear, is it? I've never done that on camera and had to bleep it out repeatedly. we'll get there. If I was using a tacky glue, this would be a bit easier actually. That wouldn't happen because the tacky glue would be holding it all in place. But I'm not using a tacky glue, I'm using the builder's glue because it's a good bond once it glues, but not until that point, as we can see. Now this footeriness is worth it because it's going to go into the box shape here. And that was stuck to my fingers. Dang. Okay, let's get this bit prepped first. I have looked at the dry fit of to see if it would be possible to do this the other way around, but once the lugs are going in, you've got a chance of breaking it, so you really do need to do it with the footery way first. And then slot it all in. If you can't deal with a little bit of footeriness, you're in the wrong hobby. Quite frankly. Just make sure my lugs are all facing down the way. Swear mode off. Do not swear. Because YouTube doesn't allow it anymore apparently. Haven't bothered reading those regulations. I can take a thuck to myself to think I'm going to read them. I'll take everyone else's word on it. Whilst we're doing this, I saw Dread Lun's video the other day. Don't know if anybody else has saw it, where they're now forcing the paid for shopping positions onto some of his videos. I'm guessing that's because he doesn't monetize and they've decided we'll make money out of you one way or the other whether you like it. Because my videos have been monetized for a long time, and even on my videos that are in tens of thousands and a couple of them I think are in hundreds of thousands of views, I don't have that. So if you do watch this, Dread, I'm guessing it is a punishment for you not actually making money out your channel, which is absolute bullshit as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, back to the build. Now we've got that in, that's locked together nice and solid. So it was a footer to get it, but now we've got a lovely fit. So next part of the build is these, slide them both in. Just a bit of glue into the back. And slide in, and that finishes the detailing on the front. And the same will happen when we do it to the back. We splodge more glue. Look, I'm doing a video where I'm doing a build and I'm actually remembering to talk to y'all. Wonders will never cease. And as soon as he says that, he shuts up and stops talking. That's per normal. So as we can see, let's just finish that off. Put that in the wrong bit. And let's give that a wee clean up now, just so it's not obscuring any detail the way the white glue dries. So I've still not decided how, when it comes to painting these, how I'm going to seal them. I've been given a few different ideas on how to do it. Dreadlun told me he uses car primer, and then obviously we know the shellac route, the white glue route and the varnish route. Any other ways of sealing these MDFs? I'm a little bit worried about using the car primer just in case it obscures any of the detail on this, but I also know Dread's very experienced builder, and he wouldn't lead you astray, so again, it's probably the way I'm leaning, unless somebody says no, definitely do it this way, because this way is dead easy and gives you a good seal before painting without skewering detail. I'm guessing I'm sealing a bit of it anyway when I spread this white glue around, but I'm not sealing it all. I'm not aiming to seal it at the minute, I'm just aiming to take away any of the white glue that's blocking the detail. So that's the first part built. I'm going to let that bit dry before we come back to it. Just let me get that white glue off my brush. Now the next part we're going to be building is the lids. Now what we want to do, let me zoom right in for this, is be careful when you're building the lids. Remember there's two dumpsters in here, and within those dumpsters, if you look at the lids, can you see anything? There's a right and a wrong way to go to put these on. You want the narrow bar to be the internal of your actual build, so that when we come and fit it all onto the top, I'll let you zoom back out. When we fit it all back onto the top with the correct components, everything fits nicely. If we don't do it with a narrow bar, it doesn't want to fit. So that's just what you need to be careful of when you're setting up and doing the build. Now I did mention I was going to magnetise, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So set that aside and I'll get the stuff I need for the magnets. So getting ahead of myself, I forgot about the dumpster pickup point, so a bit of glue, and the handles, or the slot points. Glue on the inside all the way along. And again. So it looks like it's probably settled, because my wife's actually on Facebook talking to Viv at Magnetsised at the minute, because I've mentioned before he's my pal. Like to mention that. You know how that celebrity thing, I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, I met Viv, haha. And he also uses flatback spray paint of the sort of car primer idea, so I'll probably test out the various things on a bit of sprue, or actually Mithril will probably test out the bits in a sprue and tell me what she gets the best result from. It's a shame I've only got one bit of the sprue left to bind all the rest. No, I've actually got all the cutouts still that wasn't used previously, so I might let her play about with all of them and see what comes up really nice. But we know both Viv and Dread both do it that way, so it'll take a lot of convincing now to get me to go any other way, because they are both terrain geniuses and they've both been doing it a hell of a lot longer than I have. I may be older than them, I don't know their ages, but I've not had, or I've had more substantial breaks from the hobby than they have, and quite frankly know a lot more. Oops, there you go, somebody's chatting my door. Back that. And I be back. Not that you ever really noticed me going. So again, just repeat the process on the other side. And I'm going to have to wash my hands because I'm getting covered in drying in glue. Damn, it's sticking to me. There we go. And sorry, but Mithril's ripping into the parcel that the postie brought, because that's who was at the door. So if you hear that in the background, that's all it is. Don't adjust your audio. The audio is fine. Dee, 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 dee. Oops, sorry, took that completely off camera. Actually, I hope the rest was on camera because I haven't been looking at my wee screen. Dang. I'm not sure where my hands were positioned, and that panic's now made me push everything out because I went dang and got all worried because I wasn't on camera. Asshole. Asshole. Name the movie. Can you name the movie that came from? Let's try and redo that. Oh, dang. Right. Square it off. Give it a wee clean. Oh, dang, I keep knocking that out. There we go. Cool. Right, now I need to walk away and let that bit dry, especially as that was pretty loose. So we'll get organised now for the lid and the magnetisation process. Right, straight off without having to worry about any positioning for magnets or any sanding or anything, I can add this to the centre. Now the beauty about doing this so early as well is it means because I've got my two lids lined up I won't get anything reversed or mixed up, and it's one of those pieces. So I'll go there and reverse, keeping my narrow sections of the lid to the centre. Goes there. So both narrows and cleaned up. So next easiest part of the process is to do these. And normally you see me using my magnetisation tool whenever I'm magnetising to get polarities right. Because of this centre one, I'm going to have to put 2 magnets in it. I'm not overly bothered because the stuff isn't going to be able to be interchangeable, neither is it interchangeable due to the shape of the dumpster lid. So just a wee bit of glue in, and it's 2 magnets. Focus. Focus. There we go, we can see the magnets. So just push the magnets straight in. Those holes are already on the piece. Now my 2 magnets fit beautifully flush to both sides and the holes that are already in it. The magnets themselves are 2mm by 1mm, so they're 1mm deep, 2mm diameter. And I'm just going to repeat the process so we get a nice amount of strength. It'll actually, technically, as I only need 1 in each of them, but it will just give me that extra strength by having the 2 magnets working behind each other. The extra pulling power, which is exactly what we want when we want to be able to pose the door or the lids open. So again, just putting the glue in it. So what super glues does everyone use? Gorilla Glue has always been my favourite glue, but I'm thinking of ditching it because the last 2 have went very stringy very quickly. When using them, it used to be a gel-like one, but it was never stringy. It's now gone that stringy nature on me, and I don't like that. Let me just push that down a wee bit. And again, I'm not doing it on camera. Back of the blade just pushes it down, gets it level and flat. So that be them, and I can now position these on the dumpster back. I can just do all 3 at the same time. So really do need to now let these dry for a good 15-20 minutes at least until there's a decent enough tack from this PVA. Just so that, because I am magnetising, I don't knock any of the parts loose as we go forward. But that's the glue cleaned up, and just a wee bit along the top. So that's walk away from that at the minute, but that doesn't prevent me from continuing on. Now, just so I remember where everything is and how I'm going to be doing it, there'll be a magnet in that, one there, one there, oh, and that one fell away, and one there. So let's just zoom in and show you where the magnets are going to be. So as we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I sit these on, just dry fitting at the second, it just helps me remember now which side I need to sand. So I need to sand for my right hand side both left hand struts, and on the left hand side I need to sand on the right hand side. And to show you what I mean, I've already started one. I'm actually using a file. Now you could attempt to drill the MDF, and unless you're using a smaller diameter magnet than me, chances are you'll chew it up, because the 2mm versus the size of that head is going to end up chewing that. So sanding's the easier way to go. If you're using a much smaller diameter magnet, maybe 1/2 mm or less, which they do exist, I have some, then you could possibly get away with the magnet. But I'm going for the strength, so these are posable rather than just a latch closed type idea. So all's a case of, and I'm not going to do these all on camera because that's a bit boring as well, but just take your square file or your rectangular file and just gently work down. And again, we're not looking to take an awful lot off, and just keep putting it in and dry fitting and testing and seeing how everything's sitting. So I can definitely take a wee bit more off of that. If we look, see where the magnet is, we want that completely flush. So again, and I'm breaking my rule where I said let this dry for 15 minutes in case you push everything off. That's pretty damn close. I think it needs just another couple of wee passes. That's pretty good. Focus. So you can see that's flush now, so that side I'm happy with. Now I need to work on the other 3 struts as well, so I'll do them off camera and get them all perfect, and we'll come back shortly. Besides, it helps as my batteries run out. Just to give you an idea of the 2 different magnet sizes, the one on the knife blade is the 2mm diameter, and the one on top of the magnet's the 1mm diameter, both by 1, so that's a 1 by 1mm magnet. And just because I can, we're going to use that as well. We'll have a look how that is, because this is going to look a lot neater, but we'll see, will that actually hold the doors open. Now, just sliding that in, and there we go. So that's the magnet in, so I'm going to repeat the process. I can't do it all the way for this, but we'll do what we can and we'll take it forward from there. So this was an exceptionally useful experiment. Here's one I did earlier. This was going to be my Blue Peter idea of done 2, because I built the first one to test my magnetisation process, and that works beautifully. Second one, I thought, well, let's just press ahead, it's going to be neater, and let's see what happens. So there's magnets on both sides, but it's the small magnets. Gorgeous looking fit, but unfortunately, it was my thought when I initially did it, there's not enough strength, so the door is openable, but it won't stay in a position I set it. But one 2mm magnet and one 1mm magnet plus the 2mm in the stanchions is enough to support it. So if you're wanting to keep a bit of neatness without having to go in with your milliput or green stuff just to tidy this up, because that's what I'm going to be doing, is a wee bit of milliput or green stuff just to tidy that, you can get away with putting in that side, or this, it doesn't really matter which one, your 1mm magnet and your 2mm magnet. You can see how much is left after drilling. There's not a lot of room in there. Any bigger and you risk actually shattering the MDF and it just disintegrating the way it's put together. So that's where we're at the minute, and we'll push along now with the next part of the build. So this next part's dead easy. It's the casters. So it's just globule of your white glue into each of the holes. Check your casters for the way around because it's laser cut. One side it's got this beautiful pattern of the caster wheel in it, and the other side is just a blank. So just make sure your print is facing out. And then push them in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And clean up time. Next part, I'm going to have to refer to my instructions. I think I know where they go, or rather the online instructions, because we're almost done, but there's 3 parts left. I'm not 100% sure where they go, but it's these. Now they've got a very minute angle cut into it, can you see that? Dink and dink. And I think they go either on the edge, let me zoom out, on the edge or something like that. So instruction time, and we'll find out where they go and take it from there. So then, they don't actually appear on the instructions. So looking at it, this part looks good just there. And this part, because we've got that little angle cut in just off the 90 degree, fits perfectly just there, which is how I'm going to do it. So just knock that out of the way. So I'm going to fit it there. Ayo, so back with a fully charged camera and a bottle of Trooper. You don't drink Iron Maiden Trooper. All different colours of lids or different patterns of lids in the top. I quite like that. Anyway, back to these. So, lids are fully magnetised. The rims are now in place. I think they look good. And what I'm going to do now is these magnets here, the exposed ones, I'm just going to put a little bit of milliput around that just to hide them and get it looking back like it was the bit it was before. So it won't take a lot. I just need to try and get some of my milliput out of the casing that's working, because it's went all sort of crusty on the outer side, so I might need to trim some of that away, because I found the crusty stuff when you try to put it together, it doesn't bond. So I won't bother showing you mixing it all up, I'll just get that mixed and put in place, then we'll come back when that's done. So, all done. Fully magnetised, fully milliput, and even that one's staying open. So it looks like you can get away with, if MD wants to do this, the 2mm by 1mm and the 1mm by 1mm, because it looks a hell of a lot neater. You can get away with it. What I did is I took a clamp and glued some extra glue in there and then pressed it really tight, and between the pressure fit and the magnets we now have fully opening doors. On the other ones though, as we can see, all I've did is add some milliput round the magnet just to neaten that up a bit. Might give that a tiniest of light sands prior to priming, but it'll be the lightest. Same on here as we can see. Just some light milliput just to fix where the magnets were. But otherwise, that's these babies done, and I love them. Just such nice details. We can see the caster, can we see? Bring the light around here, there we go. So my boy's already talking about, can we find bodies in these? Maybe stick a certain superhero in there. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I don't own the game, but there is a model for him, I believe there's a model for him. I'm positive 99.9% sure there's a model for him, but maybe stick a certain superhero in the dumpster if you've saw the thing that I'm talking about. No spoilers, I've only managed to see it just 2 days ago, so don't give anyone else any spoilers. But yeah, I like a lot. So take care, my friends, all the best. Oh, next up is going to be, what you call them? Telephone towers. What's Knights of Dice call them? Cell phone towers, I think they call them. So that's what I'm going to be doing up next. Looking forward to them. Take care.
Apocalypse Gaming.